Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Namibia. The Africa Hospitality Investment Forum, the AHIF, commenced this year's conference on the 25th of June at the Movenpick Hotel in the Namibian capital. AHIF is the leading hospitality investment conference that connects business leaders from international and local markets, driving investment into tourism projects, amongst others. Ingrid Van Der Veen is one of the participants who helps ambitious hospitality entrepreneurs with top-notch design solutions so they can become the most talked about player in the upper segment of their market. She's also an award-winning hospitality designer. She now joins us in studio to tell us more about the ongoing hospitality conference, as well as how she interprets memories and creates dreams through art. Goedemorgen, Ingrid.
Good morning, goedemorgen.
How are you doing on this gift of a Thursday?
Yeah, wonderful. Was early, but worth it.
Yes. Hopefully it's going to be worth it until the end of our engagement.
Yeah.
So this is your first visit to Namibia.
Yeah, it is.
How's it been?
Wonderful. Yeah. I actually arrived a bit earlier before the Congress because I really wanted to see more of the country. So I went to the coast and had a bit of a look there.
The coast is a must-see, so I'm happy you were able to do that.
Yeah, I did. And I also went into the desert because it's so special here. And yeah, it was wonderful. Took a bit of a trip there, saw some beautiful animals, dolphins, and yeah.
You took many pictures.
Yeah, videos and pictures. Went sandboarding down the dunes.
Wow.
That
We're
was
happy
really
that
cool.
You're back here.
Yeah.
Safe and sound.
Yeah.
So how have the past 2 days been at the conference for you?
Well, really great. It's my third time being at AHIF. And so it's reconnecting with people again I met earlier and well, really building up on relations there. And yeah, it's a really good vibe always there. People are really there to help each other. It's not just for like me and win-win for myself. It's really connecting each other, thinking, oh, maybe that one person can help that person and let's connect each other.
It is your third AHIF.
It is, yeah.
So how does this one compare to the others and why is this one the best?
Well, for me, it's the best because it's building up. But well, I think they're sort of like similar because it's organized by the same organization. So in that way, it is similar, which I think is good because then it has added value. I think what's different here is that there's more stands in this like bigger area where there's people, organizations and businesses can present themselves. So usually that was a bit smaller. This way here it's a bit bigger. Yeah, that's interesting as well.
Speaking about adding value, you don't view the sector, hospitality and tourism, through only one lens. In fact, you have a broad perspective. Please enlighten us on those perspectives.
Right. Yeah, what I see is especially also countries like Namibia or in Kenya, I think a lot of African countries, they focus on the nature. So we just talked about the desert and it's super beautiful. But I think there's a lot more to show in a country than just the nature. So usually the tourism boards, they focus on just, the big five and the stuff that's going out there. And me as a designer, but I think a lot of other tourists that are interested in Africa or Namibia in particular, they might want to view it from a different lens as well. So I think that's an opportunity for Namibia to showcase it through different eyes and yeah, from a perspective of arts and crafts and culture and design, and there's so much more to tell. So I think there's a lot of opportunities there for Namibia to tap into those people that are willing to come here, and of course they're going to see all of nature. That's not to miss out here. But yeah, I think it could be interesting for Namibia to tap into that potential, really.
Very often we see that the perspective might be limited in terms of options that we go for. We go for what has become a stereotype.
Yeah, definitely.
How can we, from within, also broaden our perspective so that impacts and trickles down to our designs?
Yeah. Well, what you see is also, I think that's what you're talking about, that the hotels, I mean, they are showcasing it from one perspective. Like, it's usually also the same perspective like we just talked about from the nature. So once you go into a hotel, they showcase the elephants and the rhinos and obviously
the big five.
The big five,
yeah.
and also with patterns, like zebra prints and stuff like that. And what happens then, it's like copy paste. So you're like, okay, it can be either in this hotel or that hotel. So I did my research online, and what you see, because if people, there's a customer journey for a hotel. So once they start usually online, and people are so visually. So what they do is just go yes, no in their brain. You know, it's like selecting what hotel, for example, they want to stay in, or restaurant. So if everybody does the same, people get sort of like in a freeze. They, you know, what should I do, because they all look the same. And so there's also a big opportunity for hotels there to really make a difference and use it from a different angle.
It's a difficult balance to strike. On the one hand, retaining what is precious and beautiful and
Yeah.
true and authentic, but certainly also coming up with an alternative approach.
Yeah.
How does one strike a balance between those two, what appear to be extremes?
Yeah, that's a good question. And that is actually what people are struggling with. Also designers, I see, you know, they're like, they design in the end.
They
the hotels.
perpetuate the stereotype.
Yeah, they should be the ones, I think, giving the owners or the client a new perspective. I think that's my job as a designer as well, not just go for what's there, but really adding something new. So a way to do that, I mean, the way I do it is really tapping into, okay, if we're talking about, for example, a local hotel, really showing what's there local. And it's not just in a way, the way it's done is the stereotype way. Another way to approach this is doing it by looking at colors and patterns, for example. I use lots and lots of colors and patterns, but I translate it in a new way. For example, there could be like flowers and bushes around they have lovely patterns and colors that could be used as a scheme, a color scheme, or patterns and stuff like that.
Your own touch, if you wish.
Exactly, and then it becomes really super unique, and people go like, wow, this is new, and then it attracts. Because if it's more of the same, people don't really pay attention to it. And also the business owners, they usually don't see the way an interior can really be used for their business, because they see it more as a practical thing. Yes, we need chairs, yes, we need a bar, that kind of thing. But really, interior design is a way to leverage your business in
You're
big
touching
time.
the heart of the matter. I recently saw a Namibian interior designer make a controversial post saying that we don't take this profession seriously. We get an aunt or a mother or a stepmother to just put something together. But this is a serious craft that needs to be respected, and it makes a real impact.
Yeah, it is. And it's really something that business owners can use as I see it more as a marketing tool, really. Yes, my end product is an interior design, but also having a really good design, like my clients, they can raise their prices like big time. So it's not something to ignore, really.
So what are you proposing? How should we integrate interior designers into hospitality and tourism sector to make sure that its contribution to the country's gross domestic product keeps on increasing?
Well, first, the mindset. It starts with the mindset, really thinking, okay, this is something to take seriously. So to start with that, and then really what I do with my projects, I really start creating a story. And once you've got the story, you've got the DNA, like what are we telling? So like I was saying, my end product, yes, is an interior design, but it goes way, way back really. So I'm listening to the client, and if there's not a story yet, we really create it usually, really into tapping into DNA. And once the client has that, they have really gold, because they know actually how to walk and talk and dress their staff, and how should their staff talk like, and are we like a cool hostel? Do we talk like cool? Do we wear sneakers, or are we like a formal kind of place?
Like the police.
Yeah, like how do we talk to the people? How do we welcome them? Is there like a front desk, or is it like self-service? You know, there's so much choices to make in a business.
Madam Van Der Veen, dankie wel.
Alsjeblieft, graag gedaan.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing expertise on design. Enjoy your last day in the land of the brave.
Yeah.
We look forward to hosting you again.
Thank you so much.
Madame Ingrid Van Der Veen, she's an award-winning hospitality designer, talking to us not only about interior design and how that could be leveraged to make sure that your hospitality and tourism business continues to thrive, but also the Africa Hospitality Investment Forum, AHIF's conference that's currently underway in the Namibian capital. We'll be back after a break.